Hello, everyone, and welcome to GWF Action. I'm Craig Johnson along with Scott Hudson, and on today's show, Scott, do you have the format?
What? On today's show, we'll be seeing, we'll see Jeff Gaylord versus Wild Bill Irwin. We'll see the Renegade Warriors take on Tatum and Price. We'll see Terry Garvin take on whoever. Oh, he's taking on my boy, Sweet Daddy Falcone. It's not on the sheet here. I have to know these things, though, because I'm in charge. Chaz will be taking on Steven Dane. And Walker and Simpson and Buffoon Tag Team Champions will be taking on Bad News and Soultaker. And they're not going to hold the belts for much longer because this will be a title match tonight, and they will lose the belts.
To what do we owe your presence?
Because I'm great, and I just came out here to enhance the show. In fact, I like it so much out here, I think I'll stick around, and I think I'll do some commentary on the show. I may stick around 2, 3, maybe 4 matches, because, by gosh, I'm so talented. The people want to see me. They love me.
Oh, boy.
Well, folks, if you enjoy Scott Anthony, I guess he will be joining us a little bit later. But coming up next, we've got a lot of great action. Jeff Gaylord against Wild Bill Irwin.
I just said that. Is there an echo in here?
When we return after this. A man with impressive credentials, whether you're talking about the sport of professional wrestling or the sport of college or professional football. Craig Johnson joined on this edition by Scott Hudson. It's always a pleasure to have you here when it's not Major League Wrestling time.
Thank you very much, Craig. You know, we're...
And his opponent,
Watch out.
in the area at 250 pounds, from Denver, Colorado, Wild Bill Irwin!
Always crack that whip. It is so loud when he comes by us, and every now and then, something goes awry and the whip catches on the ropes, but maybe not long enough.
These two men, former competitors in the UWF, the Universal Wrestling Federation.
Some great days of wrestling gone by.
Under the tutelage of the old cowboy, Bill Watts, these two men trained in the UWF, the old Mid-South Territory. Now they're here in the GWF. That's Bill Irwin. And the Missouri Tiger, Jeff Gaylord.
Irwin not wanting to give the big man at 6'3", 266 pounds, a chance. As the fans still filing into the Global Dome for this event. A severe thunderstorm warning in the area today. As a matter of fact, we've had to move from our normal broadcasting position because of a problem with a fan blowing in a lot of water. Our regular broadcasting position is underwater.
The type of fan you're speaking of is the rotary variety.
Yes, not one of the Global Dome fans. You're right.
Certainly not.
Irwin with the right. The wild man from Denver, Colorado. Snapman has a few words for the fans here at the Global Dome.
Goodness. What a little display there by Wild Bill Irwin.
Nothing little
At
about the
ringside
display.
now, joining Jeff Gaylord. There you see him, gorgeous Gary Young.
Well, Gary Young and Jeff Gaylord, tag team partners, having their problems with Skandor Akbar's team of John Tatum and Rugged Rod Price, the California stud. But it's Jeff Gaylord playing the part of cheerleader. And also the fact that Jeff Gaylord, with more years of experience in the sport of professional wrestling, may wanting to be giving a little bit of coaching, as you see our cameraman Oz Coleman looking on there with gorgeous Gary Young. Oz celebrating his second decade of being a cameraman in the sport of professional wrestling. He began that about 3 weeks ago.
Congratulations, Oz Coleman. That's a long time to be around any profession. Oh, and I think Bill Irwin may have stayed around wrestling one day too long, but apparently not.
Got out of the way one moment too soon for Jeff Gaylord.
Looking over the shoulder of the former competitor for the UWF Rookie of the Year honors, Gary Young.
Shane Douglas and Steve Cox, two men who were also in the running. That award, I believe, won that year by Shane Douglas. Although I have been corrected by a man who should know, Video Bob, telling me it is Steve Cox who has his, Video Bob has his wrestling encyclopedia sitting right next to his director's console. It's always good to be able to count on Video Bob.
Jeff Gaylord really having his point after attempt converted successfully, looks like, as Bill Irwin just kicking the hound out of him in there.
And now once again, Irwin bringing the whip into the ring. Now if he uses this, it's a disqualification. But instead, he hits Gary Young with it. Young quite upset. Getting up, James Beard keeping him from going into the ring, and Wild Bill Irwin taking advantage of the situation by delivering some blows to the back of the head of Jeff Gaylord. Irish whip sends him in, duck under the clothesline. Trip by Young is Irwin. Gaylord gets the elbow and gets the three.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, Jeff Gaylord.
The Missouri Tiger gets a little help from his friend Gary Young. And will return.
At a combined weight of 460 pounds, the Renegade Warriors!
John Tatum and rugged Rod Price, the California stud, currently near the top, if not on top, of the contenders rankings for the Global Wrestling Federation Tag Team titles, currently held by Conan Chris Walker and Steve Simpson. The Renegade Warriors would like to move up that ladder, and a win over Akbar's California Connection would help them quite a bit, as we're about ready to get action underway in this event.
What a core of tag team talent here in the GWF. You've got two of the top contenders right here in the Renegade Warriors and the California Connection of Rod Price and John Tatum. You can't leave out teams like Bad Attitude. That's bad news in the Soultaker. The two teams from the Cartel, Scott Anthony and Rip Rogers, Makhan Singh and Cactus Jack. We've just got tag team after tag team going after Chris Walker and Steve Simpson.
Of course, when you talk about tag team wrestling, don't ever forget Jim Cornette and Stan Lane. Not that they make a great tag team,
Certainly
but if
not.
they find the right tag team partner for Sweet Stan Lane, you can expect that team to rocket right to the top. But right now, the team standing on the top, ready to take the tag team titles, the team of Tatum and Price. But right now, they've got to think about the Renegade Warriors, the team of the Youngblood brothers, Mark and Chris. Price trying to stay out of the way of Chris Youngblood. Back into the ring they go. Price off the ropes. Shoulder block from the football player, former football player. Can't get out of the way from that chop. Tatum gets out of the way of the double tomahawk, and I think that's just a good old Native American slap to the face, courtesy of Chris Youngblood.
And there was a good look at Skandor Akbar as he walked in front of the camera. And there are his charges, the California Connection of John Tatum and the California Stud. But in comes Mark Youngblood to face John Tatum. John Tatum, I don't know if it's a claim to fame or not, but is the man who brought Missy Hyatt into professional wrestling.
That would be an infamous move, I would guess. Hip lock takeover, and Tatum maybe missing a few things himself there. As the bionic pout in full effect. Mark Youngblood, the man who's doling out the punishment. NWA World Tag Team Champion twice, first in '82 with his late brother Jay Youngblood, and then with Wahoo McDaniels in 1984. Held the U.S. Tag Team Champion with his late brother Jay on 2 occasions. Central States Tag Team Champion back in 1980. And then with his brother Chris, 6-time Caribbean Tag Team, 9-time World Wrestling Council World Tag Team Champions. And the team from California, managed by Mr. Skandor Akbar, looking for their first title.
But they are certainly not unaccustomed to wearing the gold, as Rod Price once formed a potent combination with current WCW star Stunning Steve Austin. And of course, John Tatum has been in numerous tag teams over his career, not the least of which a very good tag team with Jack Victory in the UWF many years ago.
But amazingly enough, when you talk to Jack Victory about Hollywood John Tatum, it was a case that Tatum liked the Hollywood lifestyle, liked to party, and Jack Victory was well-versed in the New Zealand-type work ethic after a stint with the Sheep Herders, and then teamed up with Rip Morgan, and now one of the other top teams that I don't believe we even mentioned, the Maulers. And you can't forget about them as you see the, and I still haven't figured out how to pronounce this martial art.
It's
Tumatsuri Ayakano. Yeah, Jumbo Sharuda. I think that's about right. Video Bob asking if that comes with rice. No, but I believe it comes with an egg roll.
Very nice in there.
Watch out, as Chris Youngblood walked right into that one, having to avoid John Tatum. Price with a backbreaker, now the rake of the eyes, as these two teams going toe-to-toe. Power slam by Rugged Rod Price, the California stud. Even had the cradle, but it wasn't good enough for a count of three.
And take a look at Price complaining to the official that the count was too slow.
The double kick as the count of 5 sends the California stud out of the ring after the tag to Hollywood John Tatum. His first match, 1980 against Terry Bam Bam Gordy. You see Tatum wanting the tag. That may have been a bad maneuver. Count of 1, count of 2. Before Price lays in the boot. He was so worried about getting the tag, Scott, that he went off balance.
He wasn't fighting the sunset flip of the Renegade Warrior, Chris Youngblood. Only concerned with the tag, and sure enough, he went over.
2 duck unders, and both men connect with a clothesline. Tatum's clothesline connects with the chest of Chris Youngblood, while Youngblood got Tatum in the jaw, I believe. Tatum, wrong corner, John. He gets over to the right corner, but forgot to tag, as on the warpath. It's Mark Youngblood with a series of chops. Down goes the stud. Double axe handle. And a meeting of the connection. I guess Akbar's team making the wrong connection there, but
oh no.
The chop levels the official as Tatum out of the way. And that chop right to the nose of referee John Keaton.
John Keaton is down, and John Keaton is not a wrestler. That move has leveled many a wrestler, but Keaton, wow.
The bell is rung. I have no idea what the official word will be on this one.
Now James Beard, a second official, has entered the ring. He's calling for the bell.
Going after it, clearing the ring, the Renegade Warriors. And they may have to declare this one a no contest. This one declared a no contest, and we shall return with more after this. Sweet Daddy Falcone, 42nd Street, New York City. I believe a man who's very familiar with that particular place in the world has joined us on commentary position. Scott Anthony.
That's right, the Palm Beach heartthrob here. You know, I like the Sweet Daddy Falcone fella. He's a bad, bad man.
This event from Louisville, Kentucky, at a 222 pounds, Terry Garvin.
The epitome of a never-say-die attitude, Terry Garvin.
Look at that ridiculous cape. Who does he think he is, Batman, with his cape? That looks ridiculous, and he's a buffoon.
You seem to have an opinion, and quite frankly, I have to respect your opinions because they are your opinions.
You have to respect him because I'm the Palm Beach heartthrob and the greatest athlete ever to grace the Global Wrestling Federation. So you have to respect him because of my sheer talent.
Well, here is a man who used to be on the wrong side of the tracks, let us say.
Well, yeah, I heard he lived on like 32nd Street.
And now he has gone to the scientific method of wrestling and is doing pretty darn well. You, on the other hand, have all the...
Wait. I don't think he's doing that well. He's not doing that good. You know, he's an okay wrestler. I think he was better off when he was on the wrong side of the tracks, Johnson.
If I may get a word in here edgewise, this may be of interest, Craig. I understand that the Palm Beach headache was stopped by
Be careful, he's sitting here.
I'm sorry, heartthrob. I misread my notes. I understand that he had a little run-in with the local law enforcement today, Scotty.
Yeah, I was driving here, and his policeman pulled me over. He goes, it's a one-way street. I said, I was only going one way. He said, didn't you see the arrows? I go, I didn't even see the Indians.
Uh-huh.
Wait a minute, you see that? Terry Garvin slid through the legs, and a couple of drop kicks on Sweet Daddy Falcone, and he goes down with a big thud.
Sweet Daddy Falcone in at 315 pounds, 6'5", going against 222 pounds of Terry Garvin. Laid all of that clothesline in, followed up by a series of rights.
Sweet Daddy Falcone in a lovely shade of pink tights.
I wouldn't call that, oh.
And there's no one home.
Right on the back of the head. You saw Terry Garvin miss the drop kick, land on his back, but the back of the head bounced off the mat.
Good. Maybe they'll knock some sense into him there, Hudson Hummingbird.
Oh, boy.
Sweet Daddy Falcone, who has held tag team championships with one Brickhouse Brown.
Brickhouse Brown. Who cares? Anyway, I like Sweet Daddy Falcone, but who cares about Brickhouse Brown? Look, this Terry Garvin guy, I'll say one thing here. And I hate to give him any credit at all because I really don't like the guy, but I give him one piece of credit. The man does not stop trying. He's kind of like Rocky Balboa, only not as good looking, not as muscular, and doesn't make nearly as much money. But he never gives up. The man keeps coming and coming and coming. He's kind of like that bunny rabbit on that Energizer commercial that walks around with them cymbals going, man. Just keeps on coming.
There's something else right here that reminds me of an incessant cymbal beating.
Listen, Hudson, I don't make fun of your hair. Of course, if you had any hair to make fun of, I might.
Sweet Daddy Falcone placing the boots to the upper back, and Terry Garvin now attempting to shake out. What?
Look, if you don't have anything to say, quit putting the mic in front of me so I have to cover you, Johnson. Now, listen, I just want to mention this. The boss is a little upset because, see, the Cartel, things aren't going as good for the Cartel as they should be. Wait a minute. Oh, nothing happening there. Terry Garvin started the fire back, but he went nowhere with it. Anyway, like I was saying, the boss is kind of upset because things ain't going so good for the Cartel because we've been denied our title shots. We get ripped off at every turn. And now Muck'em Singh, well, at least Muck'em Singh, he's doing very well for himself, I understand, in Germany now. He's got some deal in Germany. He's in a tournament there?
I believe it's the World Cup tournament over there.
I knew that. I was just quizzing you. Anyway, he's over there with this World Cup tournament in Germany, and he's doing really well for himself. So we'll pick up a title there, I bet. And then the boss will be happy.
Okay, who is the boss?
Bruce Springsteen. Even if we're just...
Oh, don't start that again. Oh,
Terry
please,
Garvin with the crucifix trying to pull him over. Gets the leverage, gets the count of 1, 2, and 3.
Got it.
He had the tights. I seen it. He had that Falcone's tights. Look, now he's running away because he knows he had him.
He's got the win, no doubt about that.
Steve Dane.
As Steve Dane makes his way to the ring, Scott Anthony is still in our broadcast position in a It seems like you, as far as the ego department is concerned, may have a lot in common with Steve Dane.
Steve Dane, he's a good friend of mine, and he's quite a talented wrestler. I didn't like him until about 3 weeks ago, and he saw the light. The man saw the light, a revelation. It hit him in the head. Boom! And all of a sudden, he was a new man.
200 pounds from Los Angeles, California, this is Chaz.
Chaz, who would like nothing better than to get a shot at the GWF Light Heavyweight Championship, currently held by the Lightning Kid.
Now, he is a very close personal friend of mine, and everybody knows that. The Lightning Kid, see, a lot of people misunderstand him. He's a misunderstood kid. Oh, that's not sexy. Look at that. Look at all that cellular. He's got cheese hanging there. That's not sexy at all. Ooh, Steve Dane's putting a finger in his face. Don't knock it. Ooh, he's going to get hurt if he keeps knocking it away. See, I bet he gets hurt now. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, the Lightning Kid, my good buddy. Anyway, he's just misunderstood. He really is a nice kid, and people just, oh, it's so mean the way people, you know, they think he's not a nice guy, he's arrogant or something, but just a nice kid.
Well, he is going to have a big problem with that man, Chaz, when the Lightning Kid and Chaz finally square off, Craig. I think Chaz would have to be considered at least in the top 5 contenders to the Lightning Kid's light heavyweight championship.
Well, I know that he'd like a shot at the championship, but it seems like the Lightning Kid doesn't want to put the title up against Chaz.
Oh, that's a bunch of malarkey. The Lightning Kid will defend his title against anybody, even if it is an idiot like Chaz. Look at Dane. Dane's going, come on, come on, come on. Let's see something, kid. Dane's going to teach him a wrestling lesson. Oh, Chaz is getting flustered. Look, he's getting flustered now. That's the worst thing a wrestler can do, is get flustered. Steve Dane is psyching Chaz out, which isn't too hard because Chaz ain't got much of a brain anyway.
Oh, maybe you know the answer to this question, Scott Anthony. What is the purpose of the ties under the arm?
The what?
The ties that Chaz wears under his arm.
He wears them under his arm because he attempts to make it look like he's got big biceps, but he doesn't. It makes them bulge, it makes the veins stick out. I don't need to wear them because my arms are big and my veins stick out anyway. Just ask anyone if my vein sticks out.
I knew I wouldn't get a straight answer to that. I walked right into it.
Speaking of walking right into it, Steve Dane walks right in to a drop kick now 2 times.
2 times, snap. Look at that, Steve Dane's out there on the floor, breaks the momentum. He's a smart wrestler. Steve Dane is a smart wrestler. He's out on the floor, breaking the momentum. Hey, what else is coming up on the show today?
We will see a match. Quit giving us so much statics. Jeez. We're going to take a look at a match recently featured on Major League Wrestling between the Patriot and Bad News for the North American title. Plus, we will see for the tag team titles, count of 2. For the tag team titles, the team of Conan, Chris Walker, and Steve Simpson against Bad News and the Soultaker. What's bothering you?
Look, Steve Dane's claiming that the tights were pulled, and look, Chaz knows it was. Now Chaz is getting upset because he knows he was caught. Yep, that was it. Hey, you know what else? Man, you know what? Let's see. What else do we have on the show today? We saw...
That's it.
That's it? What did we already see? We saw the Renegade Warriors get the snot kicked out of them by Tatum and Price. And a big right hand.
Well, fans at home, if you are hearing any static other than the fact that we do have a severe thunderstorm watch outside, it might be the fact that joining us in the Palm Beach Heartthrob, one Scott Anthony.
You know, we've been getting a lot of poor weather here in the Global Dome area. What's up with that?
Well, obviously, it's just one of those times for summertime thunderstorms. Chaz hit with a right. Steven Dane would like to remove Chaz from the list of light heavyweight contenders. Dane up to the second rope, eyes his prey, maybe taking a little bit too much time, and indeed he does.
Ooh, right in the midsection, man. That's got to hurt. He caught that right in the abdominals.
Abdominals.
Exactly.
Oh, by the way, Scott, congratulations to Makan Singh. I understand in the Mr. Minnesota bodybuilding pageant, he was given a trophy for most abs.
Chaz, while you all are bantering about, was attempting a comeback, stopped by Steven Dane. And Dane looked like he was going for the power slam. Chaz rolls him up, locks it. No, Dane pulls him over, has a hold of the tights, but still, Chaz able to get up.
Oh, and a right hand for his trouble, and he did not have the tights. I beg to differ.
Well, we couldn't get a good look at it on the camera shot, Craig, but I agree with you. It did look like Dane had a hold of the tights.
A lovely elbow. A lovely elbow. He's got the legs hook. 1, 2.
And a foot on the rope.
And a 3 count.
A foot on the rope gets the 3 count.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this match, Steven Dane.
Controversial win, to say the least. We'll go to Bonnie Blackstone here, and then when we return, we'll see the Patriot against Bad News.
Bonnie Blackstone here with one of our smaller fans of the GWF. This is Desiree. Desiree, how old are you?
6.
And you and your mama are big fans of the GWF excitement in the Global Dome. Both of you got together and selected a question for the Renegade Warriors. What is your question, Desiree?
What is Renegade Warrior married?
All right, you and your mom thought long and hard on that one. Are the Renegade Warriors married? Well, Desiree, later on in this TV show, I'm going to go get the Renegade Warriors and ask them you and your mom's question and see exactly what they have to say about single life, married life, and what they think about their fans here like Desiree and her mom in the GWF.
Recently on Major League Wrestling, we saw an event for the North American Heavyweight Championship between the Patriot and Bad News.
What a match it was. Two big men, one really mean man, and one very good man. The Patriot and Bad News had a great match on Major League.
And we present it to you right here. North American Heavyweight Championship, which he held 5 different times, going against men like Owen Hart, Bret Hart, who is the current Intercontinental Champion in the WWF. The Patriot meeting Bad News with a boot, sends him in and gets the drop kick right on the chin. The Patriot trying to make quick work of Bad News, but a hand in the rope will break the count.
Bad News, a ring veteran, knows his way around the ring, knows where he is at all times, knew that the ropes were very close, broke up the pinning combination by the Patriot by getting his hand and foot into the ropes. So the official had to stop the count and break the hold.
The Patriot, who carries the colors of the USA, the red, white, and blue, going against a man who carried his own colors, I guess you could say, into the Olympic Games in 1976 in the sport of judo, where he came away with a bronze medal. Now trying to get a medal of a different sort, a medal that goes around the waist, the North American Heavyweight Championship. But right now, the Patriot in control.
What a feather in the cap of Bad News it would be to add the GWF North American Heavyweight Championship to a rather lengthy list of titles held. But he's got to get through that man, the man on your right, the Patriot. And that is something no one has been able to do thus far.
And you mentioned that Bad News, the man who ran Lex Luger out of Florida, now trying to become the man who shortens the title reign of the Patriot in the Global Wrestling Federation's North American Championship. The hammerlock as the fans chant USA, cheering on the man in the red, white, and blue.
He must be at war with Harlem.
A lot of wars, gang wars go on in Harlem. The Patriot meets up with a clothesline, but the weakened arm not quite enough to take the Patriot down. The third attempt is good enough, though, as the first two just kind of weakened them a little bit before he took them down all the way. Bad News now looking for the advantage. Will try to punish the Patriot a little more here, and the judo chop right to the throat does a lot of punishing.
Don't forget that Bad News is a member of a tag team. His partner is the Soultaker, and the team is known as Bad Attitude. At any time, the Soultaker may interject himself into this match. I certainly hope not.
As a matter of fact, Bad News, such a competitor, he is known to go after 2, sometimes 3 titles in one night. He is that confident. Right now, the only thing he has in his mind, getting the title of the Patriot. And right now, using the leverage on the ropes. As I don't believe official Rick Manning realizes that the arm is wrapped around the ropes. He's checking so much to make sure that it's not a choke that finally he looked up and saw, indeed, the arms were wrapped around the ropes, adding the leverage there. And now, blatantly using the top rope to choke the Patriot.
Well, Bad News got away with it once for about 20, 30 seconds, so he figured, I got away with it once, I could probably do it again, but no such luck this time, as he is found out in a hurry.
The Patriot down on his knees, gets to his feet before a chop is delivered. Rick Manning saying it must be an open hand chop, which many of the judo chops are, except when it comes to Bad News, the judo chops are right to the throat.
That will definitely take the wind out of your sails, and so will that.
Patriot thought he had the reversal. Bad News now looking to finish the work that has to be done to gain the North American title. There's one of those judo chops right to the throat, the esophagus, cutting off the wind of the Patriot. Goes back to the rope for some momentum, comes off with a kick.
And the Patriot's in trouble, Craig. Bad News is starting to look like he's going for the coup de grace and to put the Patriot out to win the North American Championship. We could see a new champion crowned right here.
Now going to work on the back of the neck, perhaps setting up the ghetto blaster. But look at the power of the Patriot as he's pumping himself up. It seems like the Patriot, when he's down, that's when he's at his most dangerous, as he starts to come back 3-4 times with a left. Takes him in, Irish whip, sends him in, and comes up with a clothesline. The Patriot.
The Patriot trying to move in for the kill now.
Picks him up, sends him down. The Patriot goes to the rope, gets the momentum, delivers the elbow right to the chest. Great binds the leg, pinning predicament. A count of 2. And now the Patriot maybe going to bring him over into the Boston Crab, has him turned over, and now indeed has him locked in. Will Bad News submit? Watch out, here comes the Soultaker, the big man with a clothesline.
I knew the Soultaker. The other half of Bad Attitude would interject himself in this match. I knew somehow he would find a way into the ring, and the Patriot now being manhandled by the Soultaker. He's in a bad way.
And you remember, it was the Patriot who defeated the Soultaker in round number 1 of the North American tournament to eliminate him. Now they're trying to eliminate the Patriot from competition. Let's go down to Ron Ames and get the official word.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match and still North American heavyweight champion, the Patriot.
The Patriot, still the North American champion. He goes up, and from behind, the Patriot missile takes down both members of Bad Attitude. He looked like he was a little woozy, but he was able to get the power up, deliver the Patriot missile. Both members of Bad Attitude go down. There is your winner, still the champion.
You think he is the FTD florist? Handing out roses like I care. Who cares? Some bubblegum Romeo is what he is.
Well, you apparently care an awful lot.
Obviously, Scott Anthony does, and maybe he's told Rip Rogers a little bit of how to wrestle the handsome stranger since you seem to know him so well. Watch out for Rip Rogers, because you never know where he's going to come from. He delivers the...
Yeah, my boy Rip! Whack the house, Rip! Rock the house!
Rogers off the top rope, now delivers the chop on the outside again. You probably told him to do this. This is your game plan, isn't it?
He's joking him out. Get him, Rip. The Rip Meister just tearing into him. He's the pride of Seymour, Indiana, baby.
So let me see if I can figure this out. It seems like if you can't get a match with him, you'll send Rip Rogers in.
I don't even need a match with him. He's just tearing him up. Look at Rip, man. He's just going to town on that idiot stranger. Stranger's a buffoon. He's never going to come back from this onslaught. Man, just right from behind, over the top rope. Good night, Irene. Man, Rip just come off the top rope. He was like a bird of prey, perched up there. It was great.
The chop.
Oh, vicious.
As the stranger hasn't had an opportunity to even get in the ring for a fair opportunity against Rip Rogers, as he is body slammed by Rogers. Now what's going on? He picks up the bell. Hits him in the throat with a bell.
I said shut up out there! I'll knock you out!
This is my lucky day. This is great. I'm so happy. Oh, this is great. Look at him, Johnson. Look at Rip Rogers. Oh, headbutt. I like it. I love it.
Throws him off the stage, gets him back into the ring. That's the only place where Rip Rogers can get a 1, 2, 3, if that's even what he wants.
Who cares? As long as he just beats him up like the dog that he is. Beat him like a dog.
The chop delivered by Rip Rogers.
Chop sting, baby. You can hear him all the way up here, man. TV land they can hear him, man. Those things sting.
Suplex delivered by the native of Seymour, Indiana.
That was a picture-perfect vertical suplex. And now an elbow into the throat. Good. Right into the throat, man. Cut off his windpipe so he can't talk no more. Talk about romance and all that nonsense. Some goofy Lothario.
Scott, I'd have to say that I'm surprised if the handsome stranger will even be able to come back after being hit in the throat with the bell.
He never should come back. You know what? Oh, a 2 count. I don't even think Rip cares, man. I hope he just beats him up, man, and just leaves him laying. Just beat him and leave him laying, man. That stranger, you know, he's the biggest jerk I've ever seen.
Stranger has yet to mount any offense in this match, Craig.
Second time over the top rope for the handsome stranger.
That is not a disqualification in the Global Wrestling Federation.
Rogers.
Different rules.
Picks him up, belly to, no, atomic drop. Watch out, the stranger reverses, and a belly to back suplex on the hardwood stage.
Ooh, come on, Rip. Come on, baby. Come on back up, Rip. Come on, you can get him, Rip. Get up!
The stranger attempting to come back after being met by the barrage of Rip Rogers early in the match. Now, the stranger says, it's time for me to be in control here. Delivers the right, and now Rogers out of control, tied up in the ropes.
No, get him on. Come on, Ref. Get him out of the ropes. Get him out, Ref. Look at it, Ref. He's just letting the stranger just punch him at will.
Rogers able to loosen himself from the ropes. Stranger with the Irish whip, but he looked like he was going for the backdrop. Rogers.
Rookie mistake. He put his head down and got a boot in the mouth for it.
Through the ropes again. At least this time it wasn't over the top rope. And watch out, Rogers clearing away the ringside padding. What's he going to try to do? Not a pile driver. He's setting him up for a pile driver. Your trademark move.
He can't get him. Wait a minute. Backdrop to the wooden floor. This place is going nuts, Johnson. For that idiot. I hate him.
The handsome stranger now sends Rogers back into the ring. The stranger, who was almost the victim of the pile driver, now Rogers pleading for mercy. But no mercy being given by the handsome stranger. Reversal by Rogers, duck under the elbow. Cross body block, gets him, there's a count of 1.
That's the 1 count, man. Rogers is tough, man. Rogers is double tough. He's been in the sport too long to get pinned like that.
The stranger sends Rogers into the corner.
What a size 10 right in the mouth.
Rogers with a foot on the rope, but Rick Manning sees it. Rogers may think it's over.
What do you think? Come on, Rip. Stay on him, baby. Stay on him. Ooh, nice form. A nice form in the jawbone. Rip's going up to the top, into the high rent district.
Rogers is up there. The stranger pulling on the top rope. Watch out.
Oh. Ow. That stranger should be disqualified for that. He did that intentionally.
The stranger handsomely putting on the suplex and a count of 3.
No! He had the tights. I saw it. I swear he did. Oh.
No tights involved. The handsome stranger with a win.
Bonnie Blackstone back with the Renegade Warriors, Mark and Chris, and we're answering Desiree's question. An adorable little girl that was here with us earlier, just one of the great fans that likes the Renegade Warriors, talked about your pretty colors. But she said that her and her mom had a question, and that is, are you guys married?
No, Bonnie, we're not married. You know, we've traveled all around the world, and we've been to different countries, and we've been sort of married to our career of professional wrestling. But the question, we are not married, and we're very eligible. So I want to tell all the girls out there that come see us sometime closest to your next arena.
Now, you sure are very popular. I wanted to ask, how long have you been tag teaming together?
Well, Chris and I right now have been on the road probably for about 9 years. But, you know, being brothers, we've been tag teaming all our lives. You know, Chris and myself, we're just about as close as you can get. I couldn't ask for a better partner body.
Have you had some spirited sparring matches with your brother?
Well, you know, growing up and our father being a wrestler, the great Jay Youngblood Sr., and my brother Jay Youngblood, my brother Rick and Mark and myself, we sort of had been, you know, the living room was sort of like a pit for us. But it was, growing up, it made us tough, you know, and we work out together. And as far as spiritual things go, we're in spirit together.
This is an answer to Desiree's question, and this is the Youngblood brothers.
Using his power to take Bad News down to the mat. Conan Chris Walker. The team that Walker and Simpson defeated for those tag team titles, Rip Rogers and Scott Anthony.
Hey, shut up. Listen, look at Walker, man, with his fake blue contacts, hair extensions in his hair. And then you got that old goofy Walker Simpson guy who should be deported back to Africa because he ain't got no green card. In fact, I'm gonna call the Border Patrol myself, and I'm gonna have him deported. How about that?
The Border Patrol?
Immigration, you idiot. Shut up, Hudson Hummingbird, you bald fool.
I can't believe that I agree with Scott Anthony on a point, and that's that Bad Attitude is asserting themselves from the very beginning of this match. They took control at the very beginning, and they've maintained control throughout, and they've got the champions in a bad way, Craig.
And right now, it's Bad News on a wide open Conan Chris Walker.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to stick my neck out on a limb here. I'm going to make a prediction. I predict that Bad News and the Soultaker will win the titles. Not only will they win them, but they will win the titles in under 8 minutes. I'm making a prediction here. I'm going to go out on a limb because I'm Scott Anthony, the Palm Beach Heartthrob.
Going out on a limb indeed, because you never really bet against the champions, but I will give you your due, Scott Anthony. If there's one team that imposes a threat, it's the imposing team of Bad Attitude, Bad News and the Soultaker.
Hey, these guys are bad, man. What do you think, Hudson, man? I think they're going to take the titles.
Well, I would have to say that
Look at that. Did you see that clothesline? He just took his head off. As you were saying?
Before I was so rudely interrupted, I would have to give the nod to the champions. I think somehow Walker and Simpson will maintain the championship after this. Wow.
Rock the house.
And those close friends of Chris Walker may be worried about his well-being in the ring with a man who stands 6'6", over 300 pounds, 325 to be exact.
335. But he missed an elbow here. Now, this is Walker's chance. If Walker can make the tag to Simpson, they got a shot at keeping the belts. Nah, he didn't make it. He's a fool anyway. He's the biggest fool in global wrestling, other than that buffoon, a handsome stranger.
Let's not get started on him again.
Yeah, he better not, because he's an idiot.
Bad News with that judo chop right to the throat of Conan Chris Walker.
Why do you say that? It was to the chest reason. It was not to the throat. That would be an illegal move. It was to the chest.
So that choke was to the chest also there.
Yeah, it was a chest choke. You've heard of them.
We were speaking earlier about the dearth of great tag teams.
See that move? The Soultaker, instead of, he went to ram his head into the buckle, but instead the Soultaker made his head the buckle, and he rammed his head into the Soultaker's head. That's how hard the Soultaker's head is. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's pretty neat. Maybe I'll do that to you, Hudson Hummingbird.
That Bad Attitude is now getting a shot at the Global Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championships. And the tag team situation here in the GWF, certainly, we're not hurting for top contenders. This is a feather in the cap of Bad Attitude just to get the shot.
Hey, you got a ton of competitors. You got the Renegade Warriors, who are very, very tough, albeit goofy looking. You got the Maulers, who are seriously bad men, too. There's a lot of competition out there. You got me and Rip Rogers. If we decide to do that, I'm more the singles type guy myself. But, you never know what the boss might want. You know what I'm saying? There's so much competition in the Global Wrestling Federation. No matter what day you tune in, no matter what week you tune in, you're always going to see high-quality matches, which is the best thing about the Global Wrestling Federation.
Once again, I have agreed with Scott Anthony on a point. That's twice in one match.
Listen, Hudson Hummingbird, there is another point. It's on your head. But if you comb your hair just right, no one will see it. Well, that's right. You got no hair to comb it with. Woo!
Yeah.
Well, right now, trying to take some of the hair away from Conan Chris Walker. It's a man with no hair at all on the top of his head. Bad news. He's going to try to use that head, but misses with a headbutt. Conan Chris Walker is yet to be able to get a tag. We'll try to get this team's first tag of the day, and he does.
But he's cut off right there. Bad news just stopped Steve Simpson as he got in the ring. These guys are nothing, man. I told you. They're going to lose the belts, and it ain't even been like 6 minutes yet, man. They're just going to lose the belts in under 9 like I predicted. I'm always right. I'm so smart.
You predicted 8.
And now, the team of Bad Attitude tries the whip, and Walker runs into Bad News while Simpson takes advantage of the diversion by going to work on the big man, the Soultaker, until a couple of thumbs into the eyes stop the barrage.
That's it. That's it. Now they got him. Take him out, Soultaker. Take him out, baby. Ducks and misses the clothesline. Good kick. He's wobbling. Boom!
Soultaker goes down as Simpson goes to the outside, up on the top turnbuckle. Looks like,
he caught him. He caught him. He caught the rocket launcher. Wait a minute.
Smart move by Walker. They get the through.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the match. And we take the Global Wrestling Federation Tag Team title, Chris Walker and Steve Simpson.
Take him back over. It's a Pier 6 brawl. Look at that. Picture tells 1,000 words. Look at that face. Choke him out.
Well, if Bad Attitude can't take the gold, they're going to try to take a little bit of the hide. But right now, it looks like Simpson and Walker get rid of their opponents. They remain the GWF Tag Team Champions. And we'll be back to wrap it up right after this. Bad News and the Soultaker try to take the titles from Walker and Simpson. They were unsuccessful, however.
Bad Attitude, no doubt about it. One of the top contenders here in the GWF for the Tag Team Championships. But as we mentioned during the match, Craig, the tag team situation here, a plethora of good teams.
And a plethora of good singles competitors, as we even saw Bad News going after that North American title that's held by the man that we want to bring in right now, wearing the red, white, and blue, the Patriot.
Well, guys, you're right. Bad News is a great competitor. He's a great wrestler. He's a tough man. In this Bad Attitude business, he got his partner involved in this thing. You'd figure a man like Bad News with the past he's got and the wrestling ability, maybe he could do things by himself. He could get the job done by himself, but evidently he found out that he couldn't. So he brings in his partner. And you're talking about bad attitudes, guys. You keep that up, and you're not the only one with a bad attitude. We can all get a bad attitude when we have to.
Well, Patriot, you've got competition coming from all corners. I don't even want to start a list of the people that you're going to have to contend with as North American champion. Who are you looking at right now?
Well, you've got to keep your eyes open and look at all of them, because you're right, it's coming from everywhere. They're coming out of the woodworks. Anytime you're a champ, anytime you're at the top of your game, and they're going to come from everywhere. They want to knock you off. It's a tough thing to get there, but it's even tougher to hold on, because like you said, the competition's coming from everywhere. You got Bad News, the Soultaker, you got Al Perez. There's so many we can't even name them, and you're right, they're coming from all over the place.
We don't have time to name them, and as a matter of fact, we're out of time on this edition. For Scott Hudson and, yes, even Scott Anthony, I'm Craig Johnson. See you next time right here.